Alright, so I long for the day when fabric and pieces of clothing don't get y'all so angry anymore. I'm the librarian, and I came to read. So I told y'all that I would not be watching the Oscars, and I promised you that I meant it. The Oscars are one of the only award shows where I'm just like, okay, I'll catch up with y'all later. You know what I mean? I'm on the racetrack, and it's just like y'all taking too long. The acceptance speech is too long. Ain't no musical performances, and I feel like I'm a musical girl, so I'm just like, okay, that's the cute award show that y'all got going on. Woo woo woo! Shout out to everybody who won. And I'll catch y'all later. I'll watch the highlights on Twitter, and that's about it. So I didn't watch it, although I heard some news. I heard that Regina King, she won her first Oscar ever. I'm just like, okay, all right, the girls are winning. Like Issa Rae said, I'm rooting for everybody black. Also, I heard that Black Panther took home a lot of goddamn awards and shit. The only thing that I heard, that movie, I don't even know the goddamn name of it. But that movie that they were talking about was problematic. Didn't make no sense. The original people didn't want that shit to even happen. Anyway, they took home Best Picture, and Chadwick looked back there like, girl, I told you so. So it was just a lot of shit going on that I really didn't pay too much attention to. However, I did pay attention to Billy Porter. Billy Porter took his gay black ass onto the red carpet and shut it down. He showed you girls, he showed these men what it actually means to go to a red carpet. Aren't these men tired? Aren't they so tired of every time they gotta go to somebody's award show, girl? They have to, oh girl, let me contact my stylist to give me the same boring ass, black tuxedo that I've been wearing every goddamn red carpet that I ever stepped on. Aren't you men tired? And of course, I don't expect men to come out of the fucking woodwork and start wearing dresses and shit, I don't expect that, but there are two things. The first thing is, if you see something that looks good over there and society has told you, well, girl, you're not supposed to wear that shit. When has society known what the fuck was good for us anyway, girl? Our black asses. You know what I mean? Society ain't never know what's good for us. If you see something that's cute and you can fucking afford that shit, go buy that shit and put it on. That's the first thing. I'm not expecting everybody to be twirling around in furs and pink furs like my gay ass, but goddamn, I know some of y'all are bored. Y'all have to be bored. I can't. Some of y'all have to be bored. That's what I'm saying. Expand your minds, expand the horizons, girl. I'm so sick and tired of y'all coming out these dusty ass tuxedos. Oh, I'm over it. The second thing is, I don't know why, there are a lot of people who congratulate Billy Porter because, in my opinion, even if you didn't like the specific look, I think him daring to do that shit on the red carpet, it was really cute. Now, if we being real, some of the gays on my TL been shutting it down since forever, but I'm glad that Hollywood is finally catching on, you know what I mean? Because, bitch, if I scroll on my TL, there are black gays that have been, you know what I mean, girl, they got their titties out, they wearing mesh and shit, but all I'm saying is I'm happy that some people in Hollywood are finally like, girl, oh my God, men specifically, like, girl, please get out of this foolishness. Aren't y'all tired of this? So that's one thing. As I said, people are really, congratulating his ass for getting up there and doing what needs to be done. But there was a lot of people, and I guess we can call them the shade room toxics. That's why the toxic room or some shit, girl. I don't know. We got to call them. We got to differentiate, because those type of people who come in and be twirling all up underneath the shade room comments, they're a different breed of people. That's it. So yeah, the shade toxics, the shade room toxics, the toxic room type of motherfuckers, they were just so angry. And I've been hearing this particular argument for as long as I've been breathing, okay? This argument of, I'm so tired of acting like this shit is normal. Why is the man coming out here in a dress? What's going on? Don't y'all see what they're trying to do? They're trying to erase black masculinity. What's going on? I'm just like, okay, first of all, I don't understand how some of y'all are so angry about somebody. It's fabric, it's literally cloth. It's clothing, it's threads. Y'all are mad, y'all are so angry about that shit, okay? When it comes to masculinity, but when it comes to y'all favorite rappers being abusers, being deadbeats, when they come out here being, sexually assaulted, it's just, oh, that's the type of masculinity y'all want. But when somebody puts on a piece of fabric that doesn't come from the section that you shop in, it's all of a sudden we're trying to tear down the black community, girl. If y'all deadbeats don't shut the fuck up, what y'all talking about? It wouldn't be no community if it wasn't for these women and gays out here trying to hold this shit together. Y'all hoes, what are y'all doing? doing? What are y'all doing? And y'all are so angry about this dress, but all these other, you know, factions and factors of toxic masculinity, y'all letting that shit slide. Y'all let R. Kelly slide for the longest, bitch. But if he had I don't understand. Y'all let R. Kelly's ass slide for the longest 20, 25 goddamn years he doing this shit. 30 years he doing this shit. Decade. But I promise if he had come on stage, twirled around in some fabric in a fucking skirt and scooted his ass along, girl, all of a sudden now, that's the thing that is being targeted. All of a sudden now, we're gonna ignore all this bullshit, we're gonna know all this abuse, we're gonna ignore all this sexual assault, but the thing that we're going to be focused on is your gay ass and whatever you don't even have to be gay sometimes. If you dare to go against the status quo, that's when we start targeting, okay? That's when we start reading and dragging, and for the life of me, I don't understand how that is seen as so dangerous. How is it that there's so much problems when we already break down toxic masculinity almost every damn day? I mean, people are being assaulted by men in clubs when they're trying to have, I mean, women are so scared to walk alone at night because of these tired ass, trifling ass men. We won't take the time as a society to try and break, like all of us as a society, to try and break that shit down. But when it comes to somebody, when it comes to a man putting on a cute ass fur or something, when it comes to a man twirling around in somebody's skirt, that's when we have such huge issues. Now, I've come up with a theory as to why I think some of these people have such huge problems, because as I said, I don't see how I can look at somebody wearing something and it's one thing to shade the girls and be like, oh girl, I don't like how that shit looks. Girl, it's fine. Girl, you think this shit looks like a fucking a pink dyed ass raccoon. That's one thing, you know what I mean? But to sit up here and act like we're destroying the community, like furs and dresses are destroying the community, when furs and dresses and shit have been a part of our community for the longest, and they aren't the ones killing trans people, you know what I mean? The furs aren't the ones dragging gays, even when they're black. I think everyone who is so repulsed and disgusted has to sit down and do some self-discovery, okay? I want you to figure out why is it, because at the end of the day, all it is threads and cloth. I want you to figure out why it is that when you see somebody else who's not supposed to be wearing that shit, why does that make you angry? Are you angry because you're living within some of these boxes that society has set up and you're too scared to step out of it? And so when you see somebody else coming up there and living their goddamn life and truth and don't care what y'all saying, it doesn't make you angry and jealous because of that? Like, because you want to do that shit too? I don't understand how someone wearing something can affect your masculinity. There have been a lot of men who are just, oh my God, how can you look at someone who's not forcing you to put on the goddamn dress, sweetie? For some reason, you equate that with this fictitious ass gay agenda conspiracy, even though y'all straight people are the ones who have children and demand that they be straight. Straight people are the ones who, as soon as their child starts crawling or walking, they start, you know, oh, he's a ladies man. Girl, what the fuck you talking about? He wants to listen to Baby Shark and sit his ass down. He don't know shit about no girls, you know what I mean? But straight people are the ones with the agenda, and they keep claiming just because, you know, a Billy Porter goes up there and wears a cute ass dress or some shit, it's like, oh girl, you gotta watch out. Them gays are trying to force their shit on top of us. And in all actuality, all the gays are trying to do is let you understand that there's a spectrum. Just because society wants us to act in this way doesn't mean that we have to, number one. Number two, masculinity, the definitions of masculinity have changed over time. Like I said on Twitter, NBA players are just a couple decades ago, they were wearing short shorts basically on the basketball court. And that was seen as masculine, obviously, or else they wouldn't be fucking wearing that shit, you know what I mean? So why limit yourself to such unnecessary, to such ever-changing definitions of femininity or masculinity or whatever, when you could just be free? And I'm not saying that we live in a society that loves that shit. I know that if you go to work, I know that in certain professional situations, they can't handle that shit and they're not going to deal with that shit. I understand that, but what I'm saying is, if you have the opportunity to, and you know, these rules are not something that you want to live by, why would you stick to it when they're gonna change tomorrow, girl? I remember the specific time when skinny jeans became a thing. I think I was in middle school, and there were boys there sneaking to go to the girls section because skinny jeans were starting to come up, and they were like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna wear whatever the fuck I want to wear. And then that shifted what was seen as masculine clothing, because now you got these rappers out here wearing skinny jeans and shit. So I know that that's one example, and it doesn't represent every single thing, but That's what I'm talking about. Everyone is so busy trying to be like the next person, not realizing that the reason why we're here in the first place, the reason why we've progressed so far, is because people have dared to do shit differently. The easiest thing to do is to do what everyone else is doing. It doesn't take any creativity. It doesn't take any risk. It doesn't require you to think for yourself and ask yourself, like, is this shit really what I want to do? It's not difficult to do that. What's difficult is to stand on your own, you know, knowing that all these people are going to come after you as if you're trying to destroy the black community. And I don't understand. Yeah, like, people act like gays have suddenly just started to exist. And it's like, no, we haven't just started to be here. We've been here. It's just now we're getting a voice to where y'all can't just step over our asses anymore. We've been here, but we're not going to sit over here and act like we need to blend in and act like we straight or present like we masculine when that may not be who we are. Not every gay person is feminine, but not everyone is masculine either. And we don't have to sit up here and appease your ass because you have been dragging our asses since we were born, okay? This is not grade school anymore. I know that some of y'all are so used to sitting on top of the social totem pole that you want to drag a gay anytime you see one, anytime somebody goes against the status quo, even just a little bit. This ain't grade school anymore. We got our voices, we got our coin, you know what I mean? We have our careers, and we're gonna do what the fuck we want to do. I know that hurts some of y'all. Y'all are so used to bullying us and shutting us up, but it's not gonna happen anymore. If we're talking about destroying the black community, we need to talk about things that are actually doing that. We need to talk about colorism. We need to talk about homophobia. We need to talk about transphobia, especially since a lot of black trans women are at risk. Their life expectancy is 35. You cannot claim to care about black lives when trans black women are fucking dying. We need to talk about the sexual assaults and the abuse that oftentimes goes just ignored, or we just act like it's not happening. Even with motherfuckers in their own family, they act like they're just sweeping under the rug and act like nothing's going on. If you want to talk about destroying the black community, those are the issues that we need to tackle, and there are plenty more other than a nigga with a dress on. I just don't understand how you've been told all your life that, okay, this is feminine, this is masculine. Even though, like, the colors y'all choose for these gender reveals, they used to be reversed for male and female, you know, that pink and blue stuff, but I mean, I'll let y'all figure that out. I don't understand how you can be told all your life, you stay here, and then act like you're a free thinker. You're not. You follow what you've been given, and when it changes, you follow it. Instead of going out and pioneering some shit, you want to sit down, and when somebody else does it, you laugh at their asses until it's time to smash from our asses, like y'all always do. Y'all wouldn't know what contouring is if it wasn't for these gays, for these drag queens and shit. When it's time for inspiration, y'all come to our community and snatch that shit, put it on straight media, put it on straight platforms, and profit off that shit. But you know, when we start pioneering something, y'all ridicule it until it catches on. You ain't fooling anybody, sweetie. We can see right through that dwindling ass hairline, and I want everyone except you and your homophobia to have a good goddamn evening.